Hey everybody, it's Howard Partridge, and I'm here with my phenomenal friend Ellen Rohr. Ellen, how you doing?
Better than phenomenal. BTP, baby.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Well, hey, listen, we've got something very special about to happen. We did an 8-week series with Ellen not too long ago, and it was over the top. And there's a big challenge, a big problem that small business owners have out there that's cost them a lot of money, a lot of pain, a lot of stress, and that is how to pay your people. So Ellen is going to do a 6-part series, a 6-week series with us called Phenomenal Team Building, how to pay your...
A better way to pay.
A better way to pay.
A better way to pay.
Yeah. All right. So before we tell you about that, let me tell you about my phenomenal friend, Ellen Rohr. Ellen and I have been colleagues for over a decade now. Whenever Ellen came into my life and my business, had a lot of things that were really messed up. The numbers weren't working. I was in debt, and I didn't have a good pay plan. And she came in and helped. I got personally debt free. Our companies are, making money. We don't touch our line of credit. Hugely profitable because of this lady right here. And so then we had her go in and help us to get our compensation plans right. And she doesn't do that consulting anymore. And it was very, very expensive. Cost me, I don't know, if I remember right, $13,000, $14,000, $16,000, a lot of money. So now what we do is we beg Ellen to get on a webinar series or come to our conferences and teach this stuff. So we've got her committed to doing a 6-part course on a better way to pay. So Ellen, what's this all about?
Oh, and it's such a win-win because with the last webinar series we did, the interaction, the way so many people could participate because it was a webinar and you could do it on your. I think we had over 60 people in the class. Mm-hmm. So we will cap the class. This class is intense, and so as I explained, I just want to let you know this is a limited opportunity. We want to make sure that you get the most out of it. This webinar series that I do with Howard allows me to do what I do best, and that's to help you make more money in a way that honors your mission, that aligns with your values, and it's absolutely focused on your wonderful team and customers. A better way to pay means that we are compensating our team in such a way that everybody wins. Now, Howard, have you ever made this mistake? This is a biggie. We're looking at October, we're up against the end of the year, and oh my goodness, the holiday bonus. Yep. What are we going to do? Have you ever been in that awkward position?
Year after year after year after year. And, we never had a plan. We didn't have a compensation plan. And then what happens is the holidays come and I get all emotional and then I just start shelling out money, And that's
oh yeah.
And then you're like, maybe it wasn't enough or maybe it was too much or whatever.
Yeah, and it's always kind of weird. Is it really based on productivity? Did they think it's fair? Do you think you gave too much or too little? It's always awkward. Now, for this year, we will talk about mitigating the damage you may have already caused with your year-end bonus and stepping back and putting a strategic plan in place for paying your people so that in 2017, these challenges are behind you. You can't change the way you pay instantly. You can make a decision on a lot of things fast, but when it comes to your team, you could create a lot of problems, Howard, if you waltz into the meeting room and decide, we're going to change your paycheck. Oh my goodness. And I've made these mistakes, and so I know the potholes in this road, and I'm going to work with you to help you craft a customized for you way to pay. I'm not going to be laying out a paint by numbers course. I'm going to be introducing you to the strategy and the tools that you would use to assemble a just right for you compensation and bonus program.
But through the course, we'll know what to do, right? We'll know.
Yeah, and we'll explore. So we're going to talk about assessing the mess is what I call it. What you've done already. Maybe nobody knows that Juanita makes 10 times what Rosie does. And those are the kinds of landmines that you need to handle very carefully so that they don't blow up your culture and your company.
Yeah.
We're going to move in the direction of transparency. Why? because if it's fair, or as I like to say, equally unfair to everybody, then it can be transparent so that people know what they make and what their metrics are. We'll be talking about scorecards, salary, commission, wages, overtime, flex time. I'll be introducing you to the tools, and then your homework is to go talk to your team, decide on which pieces of the puzzle you want to put together, and bring your real-time experiences to the call. I make myself available in these webinar series to help you. You got to do the heavy lifting, but I am there with everything you need to craft a just right for you compensation program. So good.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I know is that so many business owners that I've worked with over the last 20 years, and also to give the folks who maybe don't know who you are, just a quick background. Ellen was the president of Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, grew that to over $40 million in franchise sales in like less than 2 years. And so and over the years, you've worked with tons and tons of business owners. So have I. One of the things that we see time after time after time is the direct labor rate is way out of whack, and it's costing you so much money. That was one of the reasons that we weren't profitable. And we're paying for low production, paying for underperformance, and maybe overpaying, and you're underpaying people who are really producing, and it just was a mess, and it's costing you a lot of money.
Yep.
No matter what you do, when you change your compensation plan, even if everybody in the company is going to make more money, there's always fear. They always kind of have this feeling that, we're getting the short end of the stick. And
so true.
Yeah. So through this 6-week webinar series, we'll be able to help you to, because I've done this a bunch of times, and I've been through it, how to roll it out there. And of course, since I'm sponsoring this, I'll be available too for anybody who gets on to, how do you roll it out? How do you get them comfortable with it? How do you track it afterwards to make sure that everybody's, on board and that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
My latest venture, Zoom Drain, I just realized we've got their picture on the wall. Zoom Drain is my latest venture, and I love my team so much. What I am really, I always knew this, but what I'm really reaping the benefits of right now is that your team will fix all of your problems.
Yes.
Howard, like, they are just smarter and better than me.
Yes.
And when you get your team engaged and then create a compensation and bonus plan that is commensurate with their effort, they'll play and they will solve your problems. In fact, even as you craft this plan, my encouragement, as scary as it is to involve your team members in the game plan. Howard, we have to get rid of what we were talking about yesterday, a slavery mentality.
Yeah.
These guys work for me, so I just get to boss them around or yell at them, or, that's not the way life is.
Yeah.
Life is a team sport.
Yeah.
And for that collective creative energy to really take off, this course could be the essential piece for you. Now, the last time we met in the webinar series, we talked about getting your financial house in order. If you took that class, you are ready for this class, because what we did is we created the overall scorecard for the company. Now, how do they play is an extension of that good work. Make sense? Yeah. And so if our overall sales goal for the company is X, what are the goals for the team members? Or what if you don't make sales? How are you going to be rewarded for your performance? Is there a top to your salary game? At some point, do they not get a raise anymore? These are the kind of tough conversations that we're going to have, and I'm going to help you engage with your team so you can talk real and get rid of those awkward end-of-year bonuses and conversations. Ugh.
And have a phenomenally profitable 2017.
Woo!
And have your team engaged. And that's the other thing. There's a whole, leadership program here that's another piece of this, of how you treat your team, how you bring the right people on. And I went from, my employees basically hating me to what what Ellen is talking about now, where I have team members that they just run it for me. I mean, they just do a phenomenal job because there's a shift in leadership and becoming the right kind of leader, and compensation is a part of that. So Ellen, why don't you share what the six different sessions are going to be about? Can you give me titles on those six?
Can you keep everybody company while I run and get it?
Yes. All right, I'll talk about leadership a little bit then. Okay, on the spot. All right, just a few leadership tips. Okay, first of all, my mentor, John Maxwell, over the last 4 years, I've been mentored by John Maxwell personally. This time
I'm a runner, but that was early.
Tip out. That was quick. But while we're on the subject, anyway, first of all, John says that everything rises and falls on leadership. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. How do you gain influence in someone else's life? Is by adding value to them. Zig said you can have everything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what it is that they want. The first question you need to ask all of your people is, what do you want?
Yes.
What's your goal? What's your dream? And guess what? Maybe they feel like they're not making enough money or as much as they should. Maybe they're wasting their money. Who knows? But until you have that conversation, you don't know. And when you put a compensation program together that shows them how the more they produce, the more that they can make, and the more that you make, it is a win-win. And the client wins too. So it's a win-win-win.
Yeah, and I like what you said about you just don't know. And they don't mind if you make a lot of money. They expect you. You're taking the financial risk. You're the one who's got to make ultimately make the tough decisions. I've never run into a situation where I found that your team resents your being successful. They just want to be successful. They want to know how I'm going to be measured.
They only resent it if you take advantage of them, if you're not treating them right. My team, they want me to reach my dreams and goals. They're into my dream with me. And when I'm living my dream, or they feel like I'm not living my dream, that I'm not doing, they're like, no, you need to be on the beach, Howard. This is what you need to do. Don't, like they encourage that. It's awesome.
You and your team inspire me. Okay, I ran and got we were just working on this yesterday. This is hot off the press, kids. Okay, so the first webinar is a freebie, and it may be all you need. We're going to
so the first one they can attend for free.
The first one's a freebie. So on October 28th, we're going to have the first webinar.
October 28th.
Series, and come for free. If this resonates with you, you can sign on for the rest of the program. Or it might just be the spark you need. Hey, you know what? I'm doing things great. I'm ready to rock. Thanks for the inspiration. And you can move on. It's going to be an overall philosophy and understanding of the tools that you have in your toolbox and how I'm going to be laying out the class for the rest of the time. It's going to be content rich and free.
And we're not going to offer a free replay. If you want to be engaged in that first webinar at no charge, just to see what the course is all about, to get a taste, a free trial, if you will, you got to show up.
Okay.
If you show up on October 28th, you can go ahead and register for the course and you'll get the recording, because everybody who registers for the course, they will get the recording. We're going to do a private Facebook group where we can all interact, and you can email during the program, Ellen or myself, with any questions.
Yep. So, we're going to make ourselves available during this time. So the second one is I'm calling Assess the Mess. And just let's get real. Everybody makes mistakes when it comes to compensation and bonus and how you pay the people. So I'm going to guide you through the process of assessing what your situation is, what the real hot buttons are, what things you could leave for now. And then we'll be presenting an overall checklist that you can customize to help guide you through the process of overhauling or tweaking the way you pay. The checklist alone, I've never seen anything like it. So,
awesome.
Then the third webinar is about keeping score to make more. We will build on the financial quick check for those of you who are using it, or your financial reports, and then springboard to scorecards for each area of the business. And I've got some to share. You bet. And I'll show you how to create them. It's simple. The simpler you make all of this, the easier it is for them to go home and tell whoever's waiting for them at home how they get paid. That's huge.
Awesome.
Right? This is the basic core foundational stuff that makes all the difference to your company.
Awesome.
Then the next webinar, we're going to role play how to get your team in on the game. We're going to role play better conversations for engaging them.
Perfect.
They're going to be scared. You know, if you have technicians, they're going to find the one thing that's wrong about an otherwise awesome program, right? So how you have the conversations and engage them to help you make that program just right for you, so we can dump those awkward, resentment-inducing employee reviews. I hate them, so do they. And the next one is unpacking the toolkit. We're going to examine salary, commission, wages. Why would you pay someone by a salary versus a wage? If we have time, and we may do this in extra office hours, we may even look at profit sharing and some equity stuff. Let's see how fast you move, all right? Because this is going to be very interactive, this webinar series. I'm going to be responding to those folks who really bring themselves to the party and get what they want out of the class. And then the last class is going to be the kickoff. You've got your plan, you've got your checklist list, you've got these tools, you've made some decisions along the way about what you're going to engage, and we're going to be kicking off your implementation plan so that you can change the way you pay to a better way to pay without shooting yourself in the foot, without destroying your culture, without ruining your profitability, and making sure that it's a win-win for everybody. I get goosebumps talking about it.
That's so sweet.
I know, it's so good. This is such good stuff. It's, you know, it's informed. This information is formed, Howard, by me being an employee over 50 times, and so many times being ignored or abused or yelled at. You know, what? How does this happen?
Yeah.
And then as a leader, making so many of those mistakes. So it is with humility I come to the party, and a lot of experience is going to be to your benefit by learning from some of the best, humblest, greatest leaders, you know, that I've met all through my life.
Yeah. You know, the thing
including you inspire me every day, and I love your team. Oh,
thank you. Well, we learned from you. So, you know, okay. So the thing is that business owners just don't know. So when you don't know something, when you have stress about something, or you're feel inadequate about something, then it manifests in all kinds of ways. You know, you put up walls, you know, whatever. So this is going to help you so much. Now, here's the best part of the whole deal. You ready for this?
Okay.
This entire series, including the teaching, the tools, the support, and everything, is only $597.
What? And you hate that because I charged you about $1 million to come to your shop. That's why you're saying that.
Yeah, somewhere between $13,000 and $20,000. But here's why we do that. Number one, we can get a group together. Number two, Ellen doesn't have to travel. She came down like 2 days at my company, and then 6 months later came back. We had one-on-one phone calls. She just doesn't do that anymore. So the reason we can do that is because we can do it in a group. That's the reason that we do it. And then the second thing I wanted to share with you is, who's this for? It's for any business owner, even if you have one employee, even if you don't have any employees, but you're going to have a team, or you're going to hire someone, get this knowledge ahead of time. And finally, I want to say that if for whatever reason you're thinking, well, I don't have time to do this, or I'll do it on my own, or $597, or whatever it is that you might be thinking about, the fact is that this will save you so much time, so much money, so much energy. And if it's not working in your business, or you don't know that it's working, you could save the money and the time. You will get that back over and over and over and over. I'm living proof of it right now. And guess what? I pay my people a lot of money. We still make a lot of money. How do you do that? You get Ellen Rohr. That's what you do.
Yeah, this is so much fun to work with you on this program. So thank you, Howard. We'll see you on October 28th. There'll be more information to follow on this page. So why not?
Actually, what we're going to do is you're going to be able to register for the first webinar at no charge down below. We're going to ask you a few questions so that we can learn a little bit about you. And you're going to be registered for that. You got to show up live. And then at any point in time, you can go ahead and register for the entire 6-week series. And we look forward to working with each and every one of you.
So excited. Love, love, love you.
Thanks, Ellen.